Right, welcome back to my Outlast Trials guide, and just tips, tricks, all the explanations to help you out through your trials and help you out if you want to speedrun or whatever. Next, we'll be going through rigs. We just previously went over amps and pharmacy, and we already went over modifications and variators and the different trials. So now next will be rigs.
Well,
And let me just say this. Let me start by saying there is no best rig. All the rigs are pretty decent on their own. Like stun to blind to heal to x-ray, all these are viable choices. I can't tell you how many people I've had ask in either a Discord or in a party with me, and they first thing they always ask me after they've seen my level or just my progress, they always ask, what's the best rig? And I always say, personally, you're going solo, you want to go heal. Heal is just so good for solo. Blind can be used anywhere, stun can be used anywhere, x-ray can be used anywhere. But for solo specifically, you kind of want to go heal. Especially if you're kind of new and you're starting, you want to go heal. If you're speedrunning, blind. So, solo, casual, heal. Speedrunning, seeing how fast you can do a trial, get an A+, whatever, blind. Blind is absolutely amazing. So, now we're going to go over each one. So, stun rig, pretty self-explanatory. It's a little kind of thing you throw, and it stuns them for a certain amount of time. First level up for it is activate. Powerful throwing device that emits an electric shock. It temporarily stuns and disorients enemies. Pretty good. Expanded radius just makes the explosion bigger. Disarm. All traps, door traps, and enemy mines are destroyed by the explosion. So, what this means is that those little lightning floor traps, this will destroy. Door traps, the little spike that comes at you when you open a door, or mines, or whatever type of trap it is, it's going to get destroyed by this rig when you throw at it. Extend the duration of the stun effect. This is where it really starts becoming pretty good. Restore cooldown time is instantly reduced if no enemy is hit. Not too bad, honestly. Kind of pads it there, so you do fuck it up, you at least have something to fall back on, that the cooldown is pretty reduced. Friends within the blast radius will immediately regain full battery and stamina. This is an interesting one. There's another rig that has kind of an effect like this, but it's way better. But this also isn't bad. I wouldn't say throwing it just to get a battery back. It's not really that worth it. Stamina is like meh. If anything, I would wait till you have low battery, low stamina, you're being chased, you throw it. It's not too bad then. You're getting a lot of value out of it. Decrease cooldown. Every rig will have these last two. So decrease cooldown before the rig can be used again, and prepared. The rig is prepared for use at the beginning of the trial, which, self-explanatory. You'll have the rig as soon as you enter into a trial. Next, we are talking about my personal favorite, and that is blind. The blind mine, I call it, or blind blast, whatever the hell you want to call it. A landmine that, once triggered by the enemy, will emit a temporarily blinding explosion of smoke. Now, at first glance, if you're a new player, this probably feels very like, I don't know how good this can be, because it's a mine. I gotta place it somewhere and leave. No. You'll shut a door on someone, place it down, and then run, because it will make the enemy automatically lose you. And it is also amazing for objective controlling. It gives you enough time. I just want to say, this has the duration of stun effect this has compared to this is pretty crazy. That's why I do think it's gonna get nerfed to the same amount of time as stun rig, because the stun duration that the enemies sit there and just kind of have to deal with is pretty big. Like, I can do a whole generator within one stun or one blind rig, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. That's whole gas canister, both buttons on the side, and then a crank. That's 1 gen. That is so much time. Deploy technique, you have a faster mine deployment. Extended duration, extend the duration of the blinding smoke. So anything, the blinding smoke, when it's there, the initial one that set it off will instantly be blinded, but any other enemy that runs into that smoke will get blinded as well for the same amount of duration, which is crazy because it's such a long blind. So it's like this overall, this rig is just spectacular for multiple reasons, and why I think it's probably the best for speedrunning. Recharge, the mine rearms after being triggered. This, in my opinion, is fucking broken. I do not think it needs to be rearmed at all, because at that point, it is just way too good. Getting 2 long stuns out of 1 mine while your mine is already on cooldown and just recuperating slowly, by the time it fully goes away, you're gonna basically have your mine again. It's that good. So I do think this right here is a bit unfair, but it's pretty good. And obviously I'm gonna use it. Like, who wouldn't right now? Like, this is just crazy. Frenzy. This is where I will say... this is where it just completely blows off. Like, it blows up right here. Walk through the smoke following the explosion to gain an adrenaline boost. So, you know, like the little shot you give yourself, like an adrenaline? The smoke, when you run through it, gives you adrenaline, which means unlimited stamina and you're faster. That is... That is crazy, especially since some trials, as soon as you complete it, an enemy pops out of a door or a gate and tries chasing you before you can leave. Like, a lot of the times, like, Mother will come out of a gate, like, feed the children. You'll place the mine, like, right by the main gate you have to run out of, and Mother runs into it. She's stunned. You run into the smoke, and you just run to the exit. Cleanse the children. When you're in the chapel, Mother will burst through the door. You put the mine right in front of the door. Get the cloud. You run. Adrenaline. It's so good that it's just crazy to me that they would give this adrenaline just because of the setup it gives you. The last 2, same thing. Decrease cooldown, prepared. We already know those are going to be on every single rig. But overall, blind mine is probably the strongest. I wouldn't say it's, like, super strong comparing to the other rigs. Like, but it is, like, easily one of the best for speedrunning. Heal rig. Heal rig is extremely good. It's very versatile and does a lot of things. So, an aerosol gas that replenishes your health along with the health of friends nearby. So, the first level of this, it will only heal 2 bars. Expanded radius. Expand the radius of the healing effect. It's just a bigger heal. Silent help. Healing occurs silently. I didn't even realize it made noise when I first used this. And this was my first rig I leveled up. So, I honestly, I don't know if this is even, like, super impactful. But I couldn't tell that it was even loud or even draw any enemies near me. Extended duration, the duration of the healing effect. So this is amazing. This can actually, like, overheal the hell out of you, because I'll place it down and I'll get healed like 3 bars, get hit, and it will heal like another 2 bars. So you could actually tank hits with this if, like, needed. Say, like, you're stuck in a corner or a screamer got you, just pop this down on the ground. Any hits you take will instantly be healed. It's amazing with that. Detox. Healing gas will also cure psychosis. That is amazing. So, as I said in, you know, my amp and pharmacy videos, detox is just spectacular. Because psychosis right now is so good. It makes you invulnerable, and to be able to cancel that effect after you reach your main objective point or destination, you can just get rid of it. Amazing. Anything that cancels that psychosis when you need it to, amazing. Antidote, Detox, great. Poison. Healing gas will briefly slow down affected enemies. So what it means by briefly, it just blinds them for like 5-6 seconds, which isn't terrible. It gives you time to run away, and it heals you and cures psychosis at the same time. So if you really need to get out of like a sticky situation, you know, you got a versatile heal, psychosis heal, and you blind them at the same time. Gives you time to run away, and you get, you know, other benefits out of it. Decreased cooldown, prepared, we already know what those are. So heal rig overall, I would say definitely good for newer players. Really good for newer players. X-ray. Oh, okay. So X-ray, I would say, is for the stealthy type. Mostly because for very obvious reasons that we'll go through, but tactical enhancement to see through walls revealing the location of enemies. That's not bad. You can, especially with prime asset, you can kind of like, you know, if you have headphones, you can hear, and then you can also see where, like, say, Coil or Mother is. Shared intel. Allies can see the locations of tagged enemies. It's okay. Again, it's... I feel like that should already kind of be a part of it, but it's not too bad. See, the reason I think this should already be a part of it is because, like, heal rig doesn't even need that. It just automatically heals your teammates. So I don't see why X-ray wouldn't, like, automatically already do this, but it is a level up, sadly, and it's not too terrible, but it is informational. Resources intel. X-ray reveals consumable items nearby. Medicines, batteries, adrenaline, bricks, bottles, lockpicks, syringes, rig chargers, etc. So this does not work for your team. This only works for you. And this is where I'll say a stealth build, this is kind of good because you can pin out where bottles or rig rechargers are, and you can just kind of spam it. Classified intel. X-ray reveals sensitive items nearby, documents, posters, booster items, master keys, mines, traps, etc, etc. Again, not too bad. If you're trying to get an easy A+, this might be good, or if you're trying to collect the lore, that might be good because posters give you a pretty good, decent grade advantage. But again, you know, it's like, it's not really going to help you gameplay-wise. It's okay. Extend the duration of X-ray effect. Self-explanatory, just lasts longer. Using X-ray recharges the night vision battery. This is interesting. I mean, this isn't terrible, but it's also like, I feel like you're always consistently getting batteries from disarming or just wherever on the map. So, again, I don't really feel like this is something that's like crazy, but it's cool. It's something that like helps. And then you got decreased cooldown and repaired. Alrighty, so we went through all 4 rigs. Now, I can't really say there are better ones because, you know, each person has a different playstyle. The way I would say it is, on a full 4-man team, a 4 speedrun 4-man team, you're gonna want each one of these, in all honesty. Because, you know, as X-ray, as bad as it actually may seem, X-ray actually does fill in a lot of information, especially if you're speedrunning Project X. It will show you where Mother and Coil is, which is pretty good. That's not bad. So, it still does have its values. But you could also kind of yell for your team too. Like, say, like, you see, like, healing or anything. You could, like, hey, there's healing over there, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not bad. It's good for a healing purpose. But for solo, it's good for stealth. Heal rig, I think, is amazing for new players or more advanced players. Sometimes, especially on like limited items tier 2, you won't ever always find heal, so it's good to have someone with a heal rig to really back you up on. So heal rig is pretty standard. It's good to have no matter what, I would say. It's good for, you know, the overall. Blind, in my honest opinion, you know, if someone were to ask me, like, honestly, like, what's my favorite rig, I would say blind. Blind is easily my favorite rig. It does too much positive things and it's just too good to just not use sometimes. Like, you're having a big issue with like enemy pathing because some of the AI can be really aggressive. Say like when you're pushing the snitch and you're in a solo mission and Giant just will not leave the middle and just keeps pathing back and forth near the snitch. Blind mine him, you're gone. And he can't even chase you because he doesn't even know where you went. So good. Not on top of that though, while you're pushing the snitch, you also have adrenaline. So good. It's just so good. It's just, for objective playing and for speedrunning, it's just so beautiful. It just works so well. Stun rig is... Stun rig is good. I do think it could be better, seeing as, like, blind's duration and the fact it can reset is just 100 times better than stun. Like, the blind effect you get from blind is just so much better than stun. So it's like... You know, a part would be like, why are you using stun rig? But stun rig is also good to just have. If someone on, like, say like the person's blind is down, stun rig is good to have to just throw. Me personally, with my speedrun team, we actually don't run even one stun rig. We usually run two blind mines, because you can't set multiple blind mines in a single trial. So stun is okay. This is all more so preference. I knew some people who really enjoyed this, but it may not be terrible. Especially because, like, I've been thinking too about, like, you know, the disarm, and then the restore cooldown time is instantly reduced if no enemy is hit. You could use it to knock out a ton of traps. But again, with, like, the current psychosis going on, it's like... You don't really have a use for that because you can just eat everything. Like, you can eat all the traps and just be completely fine. So it doesn't really make any sense to me. But yeah, that's rigs. Rigs are pretty fun in this game, not gonna lie. I think all of them have their own unique playstyle. I think all of them are decently viable on a team. One to one's own, you know.
Stay cool.
So that's what I would say about that. So, you know, comment me. What is your favorite rig? Tell me why you like it. Maybe there's more stuff out there. Because honestly, all I do now is use blind. I don't think I've used any other rig for quite a while now.
Take care now.
But yeah. Oh. Actually, there is one more thing I do have to go over. Is that certain enemies do not get affected by certain rigs. For example, blind behemoth. The giant blind guy who's usually at the generators or just any dark part of the map. He does not get blinded by this. Blind mine does not affect him. Stun rig though, however, does. So, let that be known. That's just a little tip for you guys if you didn't know. Oh, and for some reason, some grunts don't get affected by the heal poison. I don't really know why. I don't know if it's bugged out, but yeah, some grunts don't get affected by the poison. So let that be known too.
Careful out there.
I don't really know of any other interactions that some enemies may have towards certain rigs, but those are the only ones that I know so far. So I hope this helped someone. Like, comment, subscribe if, you know, this video did help. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video for Outlast Trials guide. I love you all. Bye-bye.